Ovnis, extraterrestres, UFOs, UAPs, ¿son espíritus malignas tomando forma física? Hay que escuchar lo que dice Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson es un don trabajando como un periodista por más de 29 años. A ver, vamos a ver.
You had mentioned several times that you think that the UFO, UAP type phenomena stuff is all spiritual.
I think
correct?
so. I mean, look, I should just state about every topic, like, I don't know. Yeah, that is the root of all wisdom. As my father always said when we were kids, the root of all wisdom is knowing what an asshole you are. And I think that is totally, and knowing how ignorant you are and how limited your foresight is and all that. So I don't know.
Eso es tener sabiduría. Me acuerda de un proverbio en Proverbios 12:15, el libro de sabiduría. Los necios creen que su propio camino es el correcto, pero los sabios prestan atención a otros.
But yeah, I would bet my house on it. At least some of it is. I mean, I'm sure some of it's like advanced technology that we possess. The U.S. government clearly does possess a lot of technology that is not publicly known about or available or only in fragments. I mean, that's clearly true. You've done a lot on this. I mean, that's why I first reached out to you, because you did such an amazing segment on that. I was like shocked by it, how great it was. That's why I'm sitting here. So you know all this. And clearly that's part of it, but there are other things that are clearly not, that baffle the U.S. government. Here's what I'm really surprised by, and I've actually stopped gathering string on, as we say in reporting, stopped gathering string on this, gathering information, because I'm satisfied that I know enough, and I don't really want to know that much more. Because what I think I know is, doesn't help me at all to know that. So that's a conclusion I've reached. I'm usually pretty curious. I've stopped being curious about this because I don't want to know anymore. But
you truly don't want to know any more about it.
I think I know. I think I know what's up. So I can't prove it, so probably not going to articulate it, but I think I know what's up, yeah. But
can you articulate it?
Well, I think it's a really old story. I think it's a really old story. So that's what I think.
What is it?
One thing that you notice about every world religion I'm familiar with, I'm interested in that topic. There are commonalities between religions. Jesus is unique, and I believe in Jesus. So I don't believe in any kind of pantheology, okay? I don't think they're all equal or anything like that. I think mine is correct. I think that. Sorry. But there are commonalities that are very striking between all world religions I'm aware of and all creation myths. And one of them, and this is of course true for Christianity, very true, is that the belief that supernatural beings take physical form. They all believe that. The Greek myths, Jesus, most famously, but that they take physical form, that they're not just like some ethereal, they're not just shadows floating around, specters, fog, that they're physical. Like they're as real as the arm of your chair.
Ya es tiempo, acepta que hay un mundo espiritual que no miras, bro. No miras y no lo vas a entender con esta cabecita. No se puede. Ya para de pelear con eso, bro. Quieres explicar todo lógicamente y con razón. Así estás peleando demonios, bro.
It is described in Genesis as well, in Genesis 6. Again, it's not just the religion of the ancient Hebrews or the religion of the modern Christians. It's Hinduism as well, and the animist religions, the religions of, to the extent we understand them or know about them, of the American Indians, all the same. So if every culture in the world that we know about, has left any kind of written or physical record, is reaching the same conclusions about something, maybe there's something there. And maybe it's not so crazy to think that what everyone else has always thought since the beginning of time, which that there is this combination in cases of, human beings and the spiritual realm, whatever that is. I can speak about it with no precision at all because I don't understand the specifics of it, but I know that it has been written about since people have been writing. And so it's a little weird to think that in 1945, really the day we dropped that first bomb on Hiroshima, from then until now, it's just a speck of time in the continuum of history. For that one period, we've assumed that's not true, but everyone else has always assumed it is true. I'm kind of going with everyone else on that, just on the odds, okay? It's a very long-winded way of answering your question, but I think that's kind of what we're looking at. I think there's some evidence that that's real. So, and I don't want to fully articulate it because it sounds like so out of the realm, but it's not out of anyone else's realm. In fact, it was at the very center of everyone else's realm until like just the other day. So I don't think it's a crazy thing to think, and I happen to believe that's true. So whatever, but I can't prove it. So I'm certainly not an evangelist on the subject at all, and I also don't know how that helps anybody to say it. So I've tried not to talk about it because I don't know it's true, And I don't really know what you do about it if it is.
What was
other
it
than
that-
say your prayers.
What was it that what was it that led you to believe
Talking
that?
to a lot of people.
Te hablo con amor y cariño, amigo. Te entiendo, ya sé. No importa el milagro o la evidencia que te enseñe. En la Biblia, en Éxodo, Dios saca a su pueblo con milagros. Milagro tras milagro, tras milagro, tras milagro. Y dicen, wow, qué bonito, gracias a Dios. Y regresan a sus hábitos malos, a su vieja vida. Te hablo de experiencia personal. Necesitas un cambio de corazón.
I got really interested in it, and since it is my job, it's literally my job, is to call people and see them and have dinner with them and talk to them, and that's what I've done my whole life. So it's like that's just natural for me. It's not a hobby. It's my profession. I hate to use the word reporting because it's been so discredited by the liars. Oh, we've done a lot of reporting here at NBC. We've done a lot of reporting. Liar. You talk to some flack at CIA who told you a bunch of lies, which you're now repeating to me and my kids. So shut up. You've been done reporting. I hate to use the word reporting, but just like satisfying your curiosity by trying to identify who might know, talking to a bunch of people about it, assessing who's telling the truth. Maybe they're wrong anyway, but you can kind of feel whether someone's telling the truth. And there are ways to know, or to get closer to knowing whether someone's telling the truth. And just talk to a lot of people. And I've done that because I got really interested in it, sort of by accident. I never thought I'd be interested in this at all. And so I talked to a lot of people, and I was really shocked by what credible people told me. They could all be wrong. Of course, I can't prove it.
Yeah.
But I became completely satisfied, I'll say that they were not lying and that they were right or in the vicinity of right. I always assume the details are wrong. I was a police reporter for a while, and you interview someone like a shooting. You've obviously seen shootings, but most people don't see shootings. So you think if you saw a shooting, you'd like remember every detail of the shooting. They get them all wrong. People aren't good at detail. Okay, that's just true. But they are good at themes. They're good at themes. Like they remember the guy's fat. He may have been 400 pounds. He may have been 280. He was fat. Like if everyone says the guy was fat, he was fat. Mm-hmm. Like that's what we do. We can't say that. And so if everybody you talk to is saying, oh, this is really upsetting, I don't know what this means, but here's what I know, here's what I heard someone say, I was in a meeting, or here's what, what I mean? It was that kind of stuff. And I didn't talk to anybody in the UFO community. I'm not even sure what that is. I know I don't trust I don't trust anybody, actually.
Bonito ver un hombre buscando la verdad, usando lógica y razón.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not my job to trust people, so it's my job to assess whether what they're saying is right or not. So I talked to people who I thought had firsthand knowledge. I talked to a number of them. And then I was like, whoa, I'm out. Because I don't need to go farther than that. I mean, I think that the real struggles are unseen. That is absolutely a part of Christian theology. I didn't fully appreciate it at all. It's a part of every theology. In fact, it is theology. That is theology. The belief that the real struggles are in the spiritual realm. That has been a constant belief since the beginning of history, recorded history. Everybody has thought that, except us in the West, since 1945. I can't say that enough. So once you get perspective on this question, you're like, okay, that may sound crazy to someone who thinks buying it on Amazon is the meaning of life, but to every other person in the world, we may disagree about what the truth is. I'm sure we will, but we will never disagree with the fact that there's a lot going on that we cannot see or measure with our senses. That is absolutely true. There's no debate about that. There's a lot of shit that people can't explain in the sky and underwater. We know that. Fact. So the debate is this government technology? Is it from outer space, or is it some spiritual realm here? I've already told you my view of it. But what I find so interesting, we know the government's lied about it. They're lying about it now. That's a fact. There's no way around that. They've absolutely lied about it in very elaborate ways. I am really struck. Here's my current thinking on it. The main effort that the U.S. government has put into its disinformation, its lying on this topic, has been not to mislead you on the technology. Like, they're not telling me they don't have anti-gravity technology. It sounds from watching your podcast that they do, which I believe. No problem believing that. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real.
Hay que regresarlo. ¿Y qué dijo?
Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real.
Te quieren convencer que lo sobrenatural no es real. Entonces te pregunto, amigo, ¿lo crees? ¿Crees que es sobrenatural o no crees? Deja un comentario. Quiero saber. Ahí los miro en el próximo video.